Now, over the course of this 6 months, I never realized how important it is to actually uphold your reputation, building a personal brand, actually becoming a business owner. I had no knowledge of anything before starting this. The reason I started this was to make as much money as possible. Over the course of the last 2 months, I've really realized what it means to be a true entrepreneur, a true business owner, understanding your audience and actually making an impact to the consumer. I really tried to focus these last 2 months on building my personal brand, building the business brand. I've realized the social norm for this industry is locking business owners, owner-operators, home service companies into contracts. Usually it's around 3-month contracts. They pay a large upfront fee and then a monthly retainer. And usually these companies don't actually end up doing too much for the home service company. And once I realized that, everything switched and I started getting a lot more clients and a lot more credibility and a lot more authenticity from the people I speak to, because I myself am being authentic with my offer, with my clients. And I think the most important thing when you're building a personal brand is understanding what the consumer's pain point is. In this case, it would be the home service companies I'm working in, the owners, understanding what they've dealt with in the past, addressing it, and then giving a different offer, countering that offer with something that actually is enticing, that gets them to try this process that they've gone through before again, giving it a second chance and letting them see the actual benefit in it if they actually have a good company working for them, which in this case would be me. This video isn't to highlight the offer. It's mostly to highlight the people I've spoken to and kind of the feedback I've gotten from what I've been doing. And I wanted to make this because it's been so consistent more recently, because I think I've got better with my communication, talking, and it's mostly talking about the cold calls. And I'm not highlighting the people that I sign, but rather the people that I don't sign, and kind of what their feedback to me is and what the response I've been getting is overall, kind of like the summary of it. So a lot of these people that I talk to have great things to say because they recognize that I'm not just a normal cold caller. Usually what I open with is, how many cold calls have you gotten today? I'm giving you a cold call. Hey, I'm giving you, just trying to be super upfront and letting them know that, hey, I know you've gotten a million cold calls today. I'm giving you another one. If you want to hear me out, you can. If not, no worries. That type of thing. And being authentic upfront really helps get the conversation going and it spikes their interest. And also just being respectful and relate. Again, it's about relating to the person you're talking to. So I'll be honest. I say, the F word. I'll say shit. I'll just swear, because when you're talking to, I was just talking to a contractor yesterday. He's like, you recognize this industry. He's like, you know how to talk to us. You're not just a sales guy going off the pitch. And that's what he recognizes and that's what he likes. And that's why I love talking to these guys so much, because I have a sailor's mouth, to be honest with you. I swear a lot. It's because I'm passionate about what I do. It's not necessarily because of my, the rough background of myself. It's just, I just swear a lot. It's just who I am, and it's how I get my passion out, and it just is what it is. So it works well when I talk to these guys. And so would that work well in a corporate environment? Absolutely not. But it works well with what I'm doing, and that gets me to sign more clients, and it gets me to connect and be super authentic and upfront with the people I'm talking to. So to get back to the point, a lot of the guys that I talk to, and more recently yesterday was kind of like the big, like, okay, I'm gonna make a video on this because today was like a crazy day for this. I cold called for around 7 hours yesterday. I got 2 book calls, but a lot of the people I spoke to, I got in 5-10 minute conversations with, explaining my offer. They were really curious. A lot of the guys I've spoke to more than 2 minutes have said, hey man, I appreciate the authenticity. Like, you're being super upfront, you're swearing, like you recognize who you're talking to in your audience, and I appreciate that. And I just got a text the other day, which I'll pop up on the screen here. It was basically this guy that I talked to. They were curious about the first 30 days free, but they wanted to know what it was after, because they said, I don't want to just have you work for 30 days and then we don't end up paying you. He's like, we want to be consistent with this. This wants to be a long-term thing. I go, 100%, I totally understand that. So I gave them the price, and they weren't necessarily ready. It doesn't mean they're never going to be. It just means later in the future. But he said, hey man, I really appreciate it. You were super upfront, and I can tell you're going to go far if you're not already doing great within the business. And that is just really gives me, puts a smile on my face, gives me hope for the future. Not that I didn't already have it, but it's just another reinforcement of my offer and my business and the social norms that I'm straying away from within this industry. Because I kid you not, I keep repeating myself, but this is how you build a brand, and this is how you get people to recognize this guy has said this a million times over again. But it's every offer is at least a 3-month contract, upfront payment, thousands of dollars, and a monthly retainer. And the reason why they do a contract is because they promise more than they can actually guarantee. And what happens is they don't get you what they say they're going to get you, and it's bad for the home service company and the person that bought it, and they never want to do it again. And that is the social norm within the industry. And I found that out, and I said, hey, again, just addressing the pain points, saying, hey, I got a counter offer. I know you've been down that road before. Let's go down this one. If you want to try it, you can. If you're in a position where you want to scale and you don't want to pay thousands of dollars for something and you want to try it out before, then I'm your guy, and I'm good at what I do, and I have people to back it up, and I'm working with 9 guys right now. So I just want to make a video recognizing that, first of all, being authentic and actually showing you guys that I don't sign everyone that I talk to, obviously, right? And there are days where I don't sign or book a call with anybody, but I get on really good chats and I have good conversations with guys, and it's not a bad day just because I didn't book guys. Like, it's just constant and consistent reinforcement that my offer is good. It's just, cold calls are inconsistent. It just is what it is. But yeah, I wanted to make a video just kind of describing what it's like talking to guys that don't work with me, because it's super consistent and they recognize that it is a good offer. They're just not ready for it yet, or they're already in another position with somebody else, whatever it is. I just want to close this video explaining the content I make is consistent in the form of what I post, and I'm trying to target kind of 2 audiences. One is for potential leads and just credibility for people to come back to this channel and say, hey, this guy's authentic, he's working with this many people, this is his offer, whatever it is. And then the other side is for kind of like the people my age, people that might be looking towards entrepreneurship. I want to just highlight this journey and say that it is a hard journey, but it is so worth it. And I've been learning so much from this, and it really is something that I want to pursue in my future, and it's my passion for sure. Although it is very, very challenging, and it's not something that you can just get into and expect to make money as soon as possible. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme at all, but it is something where if you feel like you're not part of the general society and you don't want to have a boss and you want to pursue something that you're very, very passionate about but think you can make an impact on other people, then entrepreneurship is for you. And you can get started and literally buy an LLC for $500 is what I did. If you have a laptop, and you don't even need an LLC if you don't want it. If you have a laptop, you can get started. But I want to highlight the consistent form of content that I'm posting is because I want people to recognize CJP as something different from the industry that I'm in, which meaning people see agencies as kind of in some ways scams, in some ways too expensive, in some ways just horror stories, however you want to describe it. I want people to connect CJP with the opposite of that and give CJP a meaning so valuable to which it impacts so many people and so many companies, and for that to become super authentic and to spread that word to more and more home service companies so they can see that there is another option. And I want them to connect that other option with CJP, which is my brand, obviously. But that's the reason for the consistent form of content coming out, because obviously I want to highlight, my offer, what the pain points are, and then obviously who I'm trying to target. And with that, there's not much idea that needs to be changed. There's not many ideas that I can come up with. It's just I need to consistently post to reach more people, because I do think what I'm offering is super, super valuable, and I want to reach and impact as many companies as I can. Whoever sees it, I want them to recognize and say, hey, let me give this a shot, because there really is no downside. You take everything with you after the 30 days. And if you don't want to work with me after the 30 days, then no harm, no foul. You know, if I didn't provide any value, then why would I want you to stay with me? And that's kind of like the whole authentic part of my brand. So thank you. If you want to follow the build, you can follow the socials in the description. I'll see you guys in the next video.